Blackwater Ben by William Durbin, Chapter 20. Christmas and the Good Sisters, or the Nun and the Blue Butts. The tote teamster arrived 2 days before Christmas. Ben was excited to see that Pa's special order had come along with the mail and the regular supplies. "The turkeys are here," Ben called back to the kitchen. Pa needed a dozen turkeys for Christmas dinner, and he had been worried all week that they might not arrive in time. When the teamster headed back to town, Ben sent along the bird feeder that he and Nevers made. He tied it alongside a flour sack and put a tag on it that said, "Merry Christmas, Mrs. Wilson, from Ben and Nevers." On Christmas Eve, Charlie gave Ben one of his books as a present. That was a much better gift than the new white shirt from Pa. It was a copy of Le Morte d'Arthur, the King Arthur story his mother had liked. Charlie read him a short part about Arthur claiming his right to the throne. Charlie's accent made the legend seem so real that Ben could imagine himself grabbing the hilt of the magical sword Excalibur and pulling it from the anvil anchored in rock. Ben was running back from the dentist's shack with Charlie's dishes in one hand and his book in the other when a little sleigh drove up to the cook shack. Ben was so anxious to tell Nevers about his King Arthur book that it took him a minute to realize that the cutter was carrying 2 ladies. Should we warn the Push? Along with his no gambling and no liquor rule, the Push had strict policy against women visiting the camp. Since the ladies were wearing mackinaws, Ben didn't see their robes until they climbed out. You're nuns," Ben blurted out. The taller one, who was at least 6 feet, turned to Ben. "Were you expecting carnival freaks? Do us a favor, Suddy, and take our horse down to the barn." She banged on the door and hollered, "What's for dinner, you old hash-slinger?" Pa opened the door and grinned. "If it ain't Sister Aggie," he said. "It's been a long time." They gave each other a hug. "I figured you'd come sooner now that you've opened up that new hospital in Grand Rapids." "It's a shorter haul," the sister said, "but this ragtag outfit ain't the only camp in the Northwoods. I can't believe all the years you've traveled from Duluth to visit us Jacks. Who else would sell hospital tickets to you clumsy boys who are doing your best to chop off your feet?" The sister smiled. Ben was shocked to hear a nun talk so casually. He was even more shocked at how forward Pa was. "By the way," the sister said, "I'd like you to meet my new helper, Sister Gwen." The younger nun said, "Nice to meet you, sir." "And these are my new cookies," Pa said. "My son Ben and a young Nevers here. Meet Sister Agnes, boys." "Call me Aggie, please." By looking at Ben, I can tell that the apple don't fall far from the tree. She dug Pa in the ribs and winked. "Can I interest you ladies in a little dinner?" "Why, thank you, Mr. Ward," Sister Gwen replied. "It better be more than a little dinner, Jack Ward," Sister Aggie said. "Driving that old snag stirs up my appetite." "I'll do my best to put something together," Pa smiled. "Any meal is bound to be an improvement over our last camp," Sister Aggie said, scrunching up her face. "That half-soused cook served up venison ribs that were so tallowy we couldn't hardly part our lips to sing those Jacks a hymn." The younger sister giggled. "You came at the right time if you're in the mood for some serious eating, sister," Pa said. "We're having roast turkey tomorrow, and we're baking up a pie for every single man." "And every woman, I hope." Then Sister Aggie nodded toward Ben. "Does that cookie of yours suffer from an addlepated brain?" "What's wrong with him?" "I gave him directions to take care of my horse, but he's still standing there with his mouth hanging open." "Sorry, Pa," Ben said. "I'll bring her cutter to the barn." When Ben got back inside, Pa looked at Nevers and said, "I believe you have something for the sisters." "I do? Ain't you been the main contributor to the hospital, Kitty?" "I guess so," Nevers blushed. "Jack hired himself a cussing cookie, huh?" Sister Aggie said. "I'm sorry, ma'am." But the words just pop out. Nevers said as he lugged the can over and set it on the table. "Well, son, you need to understand that God's name not be taken in." Sister Aggie stopped when she looked and tried to lift the can. She looked inside. "Lord sakes alive! Have you got the whole U.S. Mint canned up here?" She patted Nevers on the shoulder. "I'd say that you've done your full penance already. Just watch that mouth of yours in the future." "Yes, ma'am." Later, as Ben and Nevers were helping Pa get a meal together for the sisters, Nevers looked nervous. "What's wrong?" Ben asked. "I'm afraid the Jacks will be impolite to those nuns." "You've got nothing to worry about," Pa said. "We have never had women stop by my other camps. Around here, the rowdiest Jacks show proper manners when women are concerned," Pa said. "One day a Jack in Blackwater named Big Willie went snaky on a bad moonshine and started digging a hole in the middle of Main Street. Some fellows tried to wrestle the shovel away, but he was too big and strong. Willie kept cussing and mumbling. "Ain't nobody gonna jump my claim. This here's my gold." But when Mrs. Wilson came by, Willie took off his cap and said, "Good afternoon, ma'am." He waited until she passed before he went back to his digging. Sure enough, the Jacks were respectful enough through the whole meal. Pa suspended his no talking rule after supper, and the sisters led everyone in singing Christmas carols. Then Slim started a collection by dropping 2 bits into a lard bucket and saying, "Dig deep, boys." Every Jack also bought a hospital ticket from Sister Aggie. If they didn't have cash, the pencil pusher marked it down against their account. But when it came time for Nevers to pay, Sister Aggie put her arm around him and said, "This boy and I have already settled up." During the singing, Ben noticed that the only fellow who wasn't having any fun was Ernie Gunderson. Poor Gundy sat in the back corner all by himself. He had one of his sweetheart's letters out, and he just kept staring at it.